Censorship. Article 38 of the Constitution of Rwanda 2003 guarantees the freedom of expression and freedom of access to information where it does not prejudice public order, good morals, the protection of the youth and children, the right of every citizen to honor and dignity and protection of personal and family privacy. This has not guaranteed freedom of speech or expression, given that the government has declared many forms of speech fall into the exceptions. Under these exceptions, longtime Rwandan President, Paul Kagame, asserted that any acknowledgement of the separate people was detrimental to the unification of post-genocide Rwanda and has created numerous laws to prevent Rwandans from promoting a genocide ideology and divisionism. The law does not explicitly define such terms, nor does it state that one's beliefs must be spoken. For example, the law defines divisionism as the use of any speech, written statement, or action that divides people, that is likely to spark conflicts among people, or that causes an uprising, which might degenerate into strife among people based on discrimination, fear of the possible ramifications from breaking. These laws have caused a culture of self-censorship within the population. Both civilians and the press typically avoid anything that could be construed as critical of the government, military, or promoting divisionism. Under the Rwandan constitution, revisionism, negationism, and trivialization of genocide are criminal offenses. Hundreds of people have been tried and convicted for genocide ideology, revisionism, and other laws ostensibly related to the genocide. According to Amnesty International, of the 489 individuals convicted of genocide, revisionism, and other related crimes, in 2009, 5 were sentenced to life imprisonment, 5 were sentenced to more than 20 years in jail, 99 were sentenced to 10-20 years in jail, 211 received a custodial sentence of 5-10 years, and the remaining 169 received jail terms of less than 5 years. Amnesty International has criticized the Rwandan government for using these laws to criminalize legitimate dissent and criticism of the government. In 2010, Peter Erlander, an American law professor and attorney, was arrested in Kigali and charged with genocide denial while serving as defense counsel for presidential candidate Victoire Ingabire. Survivors. The number of Tutsi survivors of the genocide has been debated. Different figures between 150,000 and 309,368 have been offered. There are a number of organizations representing and supporting these survivors of the genocide. These include the Survivors Fund, IBUKA, and Avega. The 2007 report on the living conditions of survivors conducted by the Ministry of Social Affairs in Rwanda reported the following situation of survivors in the country. Film 100 Days, directed by British director Nick Hughes and produced by Rwandan filmmaker Eric Kabera, was the first film shot in Rwanda after the genocide. As well as being the first feature film about the genocide, no professional actors were used, instead featuring both Tutsi and Hutu survivors of the genocide as the characters in a fictional narrative. It was shot on location at the actual scenes where acts of genocide occurred. Kabera has also made documentary films about the genocide. The critically acclaimed and multiple Academy Award-nominated film Hotel Rwanda is based on the experiences of Paul Rusesabagina, a Kigali hotelier at the Hotel des Mille Collines who sheltered over 1,000 refugees during the genocide. In 2005, Alison Des Forges wrote that 11 years after the genocide, films for popular audiences on the subject had increased the widespread realization of the horror that had taken the lives of more than 500,000 Tutsi. In 2007, Charlie Beckett, director of Polis, said, "How many people saw the movie Hotel Rwanda? It is ironically the way that most people now relate to Rwanda." Romeo Dallaire's 2003 book was made into the film Shake Hands with the Devil, released in 2007. At the Earth Made of Glass premiere, Rwandan President Paul Kagame stands with, from left, Jenna Dewan, director Deborah Scranton, documentary subject Jean-Pierre Sagahutu, producer Reed Carolyn, and executive producer Channing Tatum. The independent documentary film Earth Made of Glass, which addresses the personal and political costs of the genocide, focusing on Rwandan President Paul Kagame and genocide. Survivor Jean-Pierre Sagahutu, premiered at the 2010 Tribeca Film Festival. Former journalist and United States ambassador to the United Nations Samantha Power is interviewed about the Rwandan genocide in Watchers of the Sky 2014, a documentary by Odette Beltzberg about genocide throughout history and its eventual inclusion in international law. Theater. In June 2024, Dorsey Rugamba presented a performance based on his book, Hua Rwanda, in Braunschweig, Germany, as part of the Festival Theater Formen, and in October at the Théâtre des Bouffes du Nord in Paris. It was also presented at the Adelaide Festival in Adelaide, Australia, and several times as part of WOM Adelaide, in March 2025. Music. The song Pop Outai was released by Belgian-Rwandan singer Stromae in 2013, and was inspired by loss of the singer's father in the Rwandan genocide. Commemoration. In March 2019, President Felix Tshisekedi of the Democratic Republic of the Congo visited Rwanda to sign the Kigali Genocide Memorial Book, saying, "The collateral effects of these horrors have not spared my country, which has also lost millions of lives." On the 7th of April, the Rwandan government initiated 100 days of mourning in observation of the 25th anniversary of the genocide, by lighting a flame at the Kigali Genocide Memorial. Dignitaries from Chad, the Republic of the Congo, Djibouti, Niger, Belgium, Canada, Ethiopia, the African Union and the European Union attended. At the national level, the annual commemoration programs are known as Kwibuka and commence with an official week of mourning, observed from 7 to the 13th of April, known as Icyunamo. During this period, work is suspended, and various events take place locally, nationally, and among the Rwandan diaspora across the globe. These events provide opportunities for survivors to share their testimonies, fostering remembrance and reflection on the tragic events that occurred. 1994 genocide shouldn't be repeated itself. If you think same what I think, please like and share.